Hey, I guess we're live. We're live.
Maybe.
Who's still playing the video?
I guess we're live. We're live.
Somebody's got an echo.
Maybe. Who's still playing the video? Somebody's got an echo. Who's still playing the video? Somebody's got an echo.
That's not me. Hold on.
That's not me. Hold on.
Steve, I love you, but it's you.
No, it's not me. I don't have anything playing.
Brother, we're all muted.
Hold on. Wait a minute.
I love you.
Hold on.
No, it's not me. I don't have anything playing. Brother, we're all muted. Hold on, wait a minute. Hold on.
I have done a live stream before, but for some reason, I get this motley crew up here, and I'm all messed up. And they were correct. They were muted, and I was not. So I don't know. Anyway, so we're going to talk about videos tonight. We've got 2 videos that were submitted, and I'm pretty excited about it. And we're going to watch one at a time. We're going to view a 1-minute segment of these videos and see what it's all about. Come up with some things that we love and some things that we think maybe you do a little better next time, and maybe it'll make the video a little bit more viral. I don't know. Get them 100,000 views. Anyway, so we're going to do that. We're going to take turns. We're going to discuss different points. And after we do that, we're going to show the video again. Then we're going to have a roundhouse or a round table discussion, not a roundhouse. And I've got a motley crew here with me. RV on the wayside, Donovan, he's not here today. I don't know where he went. He's tardy or absent. David from Texas. It says Aaron Jameson. We got Aaron Jameson here. He's subbing for David from Texas Family Camping. We have Marshall from Nomadic Adventures. He's here. And Scott from McGuire's on Tires. He's here all the way from South Carolina. And if you have a video and you would like us to look at it and do the same things I just discussed, you can email those clips and the 1-minute segment that you'd like us to review at vidliftinfo@gmail.com. And that's scrolling across the bottom down there somewhere below Scott and Marshall. And tonight we are viewing video from Adventure Encountered and Build an Adventure. And we'll do Adventure Encountered first, and then we'll follow up with the other one, and then we'll have a roundtable discussion about all of them if we have time. So I'm going to introduce Mr. Aaron Jemison and let him tell you all about his channel or some other channel or something.
Hello, I'm Aaron Jemison of Three Tails RV, and I'm a work camper. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry.
He's not.
I'm Dave from Texas Family Camping, and I was just sitting here and I was looking at the screen and I'm like, man, I'm almost as good looking as Aaron Jemison tonight. I need to capitalize on this. I'm a goofball. I'm in an RV. I'm soon to be living in an RV. Stay tuned to Texas Family Camping for more living in an RV adventures. Hey, how about this guy below me? He lives in something smaller than me, I think.
What's up, everyone? I'm Marshall from Mellow Nomadic Adventures, and I have a minivan camper conversion in a Dodge Grand Caravan. And my plan is to travel around and eventually become full-time and eventually upgrade maybe to an RV one day or a trailer or something. Thanks for having me.
And Marshall, what is your Dodge Grand Caravan's name?
So her name is Carol the Caravan. Thanks, Scott.
Yeah. So Marshall travels around in Carol. My family, we travel around in Bud. It's myself and my wife. my 13-year-old daughter, my 9-year-old daughter, and the McGuire's on tires travel around and have adventures and document them and share them. And we just have a great time. And Steve, this is your first live stream. James Catanese has some feedback for you. He says for you to turn your mic off.
I think the rest of the show, I'm just going to turn my microphone off. So there. If you can't read lips, you just don't know what I'm saying. Well, as you can see, Donovan's not here, so I don't know what I'm doing. I guess we'll go ahead and review a video. I guess it's time. Where the heck is the videos?
So, yeah, I literally missed out on seeing this freaking guy. I was so bummed. Oh, and to top it off, Nate not only saw this guy, but he actually saw a second one, which he said that one was quite a bit bigger and it had spots. Yeah, sadly, this is a reality most of the time when I'm off trying to capture something else. But hey, it wasn't a total waste, I suppose. And at least I got a few good...
but it was still cool. I think though, to keep that story going, I would have just found a teaser to keep me watching through the drone footage with still engaged in the story.
Wow, y'all didn't leave me anything to say. No, I love the hook too. I thought the hook was awesome. It set the stage for the story. You know, we're going to see this island, and that's what this sandbar. So it was, you know, that's what the premise of the story is. And I thought it moved along really, really well up until about the clip. And when I got to the stingray, I'm a little bit like Scott. It was just 20 seconds of watching the stingray swim. However, the story was good. You know, the fact that she missed the story and everything. But I agree with Scott. If they had taken different clips and maybe made the video aspect of it move along with the story, it would have maybe sped it up a little bit more. And then when they started the drone footage, it started off with every clip was matching the beat. And then all of a sudden, about 4 beats, we go into a drone shot, and it's just the drone shot going around, and the music and the beat picked up even faster. And I think the peak was when you see the jet ski coming across at the very end. That was like the boom. But I don't think the clips matched the beat of the music, whereas it was more of just a drone shot around the sandbar. I think if maybe that was like boom, boom, boom with the clips, it would have really matched the music and built up to the jet skis shooting across the water. That's just me. Who knows? I think the video's done pretty good, and I really enjoyed it, and I enjoyed the story. I do believe after the clip, it slowed down a little bit. It was still good, but you know, I like that snappy boom, boom, boom. And I don't know if that's great for retention. Sometimes people could sit and, you know, watch that. The drone footage was awesome. I mean, I thought, you know, it was great, but I think I'm rattling on way more than I was supposed to. So you guys want to watch this thing again, and then we'll do a roundhouse?
So, yeah, I literally missed out on seeing this freaking guy. I was so bummed. Oh, and to top it off, Nate not only saw this guy, but he actually saw a second one, which he said that one was quite a bit bigger and it had spots. Yeah, sadly, this is a reality most of the time when I'm off trying to capture something else. But hey, it wasn't a total waste, I suppose, and at least I got a few good.
I don't know. What do you guys think? Uh-oh. Marshall's back. David's dancing. He's got the boogie in him. What do you think? This is a round table. It's a discussion. Oh, I remember.
I'm Marshall.
Scott
Sorry,
said, hey, what do you think? And nobody said a thing. Is this payback?
No, where the video left off, they were showing that little hut. And she did a really cool thing. She said, Nate's over there. He doesn't have his SPF shirt on. In my bag, I didn't pack any SPF. So we got to go. But we'll come back over and get some shots of the key. And it's really cool because she's already told us, hey, we're coming back to this. So it gives me a reason to keep watching or watch another video even. And then she says, well, actually, our friend Jason has shared some footage with us. And then they share Jason's footage. And so we get to see it. So she's already teased it, and immediately there's a payoff. That was genius. One thing I would have done though, so this is outside of the clip, but because she teased that, And that's kind of why we're here, is to go see that tiny little island. I think I would have liked to see, we saw some boats over there, maybe some swimming, something in the boats that she talked about, fishing in the little hut, maybe some playing Frisbee or playing in the water, something. We saw the island, but we never got to go to it or see what kind of action happens out there. It was just, I mean, again, the stuff was cool. There's just that next step that we could have taken, just like in the clip we watched.
Yeah, and there was also something that was said, but then never resolved.
You mean from the beginning?
Yeah, the fact that they parked in a spot that they weren't supposed to, but we never found out how many tickets and how much money they had to pay for that.
Yeah, she teased it twice. She said, I guess we'll find out if we get a ticket from the Tarpon Springs police. I thought, oh man, it's going to come back and we're going to see a ticket on the windshield. And again, it's nothing that made me go, oh, I didn't enjoy watching that. But it was one more thing that could have been a payoff at the end.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Those things will keep you, those are hooks. I mean, they'll keep you, trying to figure out what happened. I think that's great. I don't think we need this VIDLIFT going up under here. I don't know who put that there.
Yeah, I agree with you all about, I forget who said it, but having some overall, I love the clip. I thought it was a great clip, and it's got over 600 views. So I think it's doing really well so far. But maybe having some close-ups of what was on the hut, what was under the hut, close-ups of the fishing going on, and then cut that in between the wider drone shots to really tie it all together. But yeah, it was great.
I think sometimes as creators, we go out and we video what we are doing, and oh, bless his heart, he'll be back.
That sounds like a man from South Carolina right there.
Yeah, we can talk about him now. No, but I think as creators, you go out and you video what you do, and then when you get back, you're editing. You go, man, if I'd have got a shot of that, that would be cool. And I remember something early on in my YouTube career is shoot as much B-roll as you can. Shoot everything. I mean, just shoot, pictures, video, shoot a lot. And, because you never know. It's a lot to go through, but at the same time, you're sitting there, you might have it and you might not. Sometimes you can go to stock footage. Sometimes. I'm trying to build my own stock footage right now. Where are you at, David?
If you're telling a story and maybe your story is about going to a place to have an experience and you want it to show that you're coming from your RV to go do that, the RV doesn't have to be at the campground on that day where you are. You've got old RV footage or old footage from Carol that you can still incorporate. It doesn't have to be the same. Dave, whoa, no, Dave, the lighting was better the other way.
Yes, that is absolutely true. All the clips don't necessarily have to be that trip.
Talking about stock footage, I hear people talk about story blocks. Do y'all know anything about that?
I've heard about it, seen ads for it.
Is it just a collection of stock footage, Dave? Like, do I go in and say campground and I get some? Yeah,
they've got a lot of that type stuff, a lot of whatever you would want for B-roll. And they do have some music as well. So probably not quite as much as Epidemic Sound, but they've got some there to choose for music. And if you ever see, there's some videos out there where people aren't actually shooting any of their own footage. It's like a robot talking top 10 things or whatever, and they show these various, they literally built everything off of something like story blocks, not getting any of their own footage. So,
yeah, and I don't know, maybe it's not bad.
I mean, it depends. Like, if you're doing something and it was really difficult for you to, say, get video of the top of the Sears Tower.
Right.
But you went there and you're like, man, I really feel like my video would be over the top if I had something. Then you could go out and look for some kind of stock footage where they flew a helicopter around it, and now you can pay for that footage to put it in your video to kind of finish your piece, if that's what you feel you need to do.
Okay. Anything else before we move on?
I do. I had some thoughts. I was looking at Adventure Encounters page, And you had mentioned that Ashley said that she'd like us to take a look at this one because it didn't perform as well.
Right.
Of course, at 600 views, to most of us, that's a good performing video. But I see where she's hitting in the thousands.
Yeah.
Even her most recent Clearwater one is already at 19,000 views, and it's only a month old. But what I noticed is in her titles, just looking at the titles, before on these 1,000 ones, she's kind of targeting a specific area. So somebody wants to know about Clearwater Beach. So she made a video and she's like, Clearwater Beach, and made it very attractive to you. Whereas this one is just a random. Okay. But this one is just like, it's a random Florida sandbar somewhere in Florida. This one is more, I feel like, service to the subscribers, not so much to the crowd that's searching for something specific. And I think that might be, we're all going to have videos that aren't the top performers. We just have to. So that's my input on that.
When you look at the #1 most popular video, it is specifically staying at the Holiday Inn Aruba. #2, Key West, Florida, Casa Marina Resort. I mean, it's like that for the top few videos. That's a great point, Dave.
Yep. When people make their videos that, if you want to get more views, then you look for something that people are searching for. Now, so it's no mystery that when I made a video about putting an AC in a tent, I knew people were searching for it. And that's been a successful video for us.
Now, when you are thinking of a video to do or planning a camping trip, do you use TubeBuddy or IQ, whatever it is, Vid, or anything to look to see how often it's searched?
Not before the trip.
No? So, no. So you don't think through any of the taglines that people would search for?
Not when I'm planning out like a travel schedule.
Right.
I might just have a feel for it, like Garner State Park.
Right.
That's like the Disney World of state parks in Texas. So I knew that if I went there and made a video on it, it would do well, and it has. But I didn't.
When we went to Charleston, just Carrie and I, a few months back, we had a free day. It was when she was donating her cells or stem cells or something. She saved somebody's life when we went down there for that. We had a day where she had to go get an injection in the morning. Then we were going to have time. So I went down to the hotel lobby and I grabbed every brochure down there. I went back and, we've got TubeBuddy and VidIQ. I use Morning Fame. So I went to Morning Fame. I typed in the first brochure. I saw the score. I grabbed the second brochure. I saw the score. And it told us the top 3 things we needed to do to have a high-performing video. And those are the 3 things we chose to do because we were open to doing whatever. I'm not going to let YouTube dictate what my family does. But if YouTube says, hey, these 3 things are all great, and I'm going, oh, yeah, those will be fun to do. Shoot, yeah, if that can help me have a high-performing video, and that's something that I'm doing anyway.
Well, it's something I've started doing. I don't know if it pays off, but I'm still sticking to it. But I want to say the words that are in my tags. Mm-hmm. I want to include that written and, verbal. So
in the early part of the video, in the first 15 seconds, first 30 seconds.
Yes. So I want those keywords up front, and I want to start talking about those, and I try to repeat them throughout. Like if it's an adjustable water pressure regulator, I want to say that throughout, as that search term comes up often. I don't know if that's a thing or if it works. I'm still looking at it, but I think the videos have done better.
It is. When I first heard that you say the words in the video to help the AI figure out where to put your video and how to categorize it, I thought that's ridiculous. There's no way. Well, I was working on a thumbnail last night or the night before, and in Morning Fame that I put in my thumbnail, and you can click a button and it will tell you, because you can have your thumbnails. YouTube could say, no, this is inappropriate content, or this is spoof content, or it can look at those things. So I put this thing in, and it was the front of a kayak with part of a paddle, a lake, and my daughter's face. And when I say part of a paddle, I mean like it looked like that. That's all you could see. The AI, it said child's face, lake, kayak oar. I'm like, how did it know that that was a kayak oar? Well, it's using its context. Everything else, if you figured that out, it knows that's a kayak oar. So if it can do that from a picture, you know it can do that while you're talking.
Yeah, I was looking at my analytics and they told me my underwear size. I'm like, how do they know that? Anyway,
the next video.
I just got demonetized. I think we have another clip. I think we should go ahead and move on. Build an adventure. I'm going to show this clip and then we're going to talk a little bit. And don't forget, next week will be Donovan, RV on the Wayside. He's going to have a VIDLIFT. It's going to be July 6th, I believe it is, 8 p.m. Central Time. And B-Bear, I don't know if you're still here, but yeah, that's 8 p.m. Central Time. I don't know what time it is on the Pacific Northwest. Although I do know it's hot out there. Let's watch this next clip.
Hey friends.
Hi, pardon all the wind. We are in the desert.
Hi, we're Ben and Ange. We grew up together and quickly became best friends. Sadly, some of life's painful moments caused us to go our separate paths for a while. But then 2020 happened. We realized we were better together and got married again to each other. With our 2 kids, we are off on adventures, we're creating, we're exploring, and we're building our adventure. Follow along.
We're in New Mexico at White Sands KOA.
Alamo Gordo.
We're gonna go to White Sands National Park, which if you haven't heard of it, it's because it's brand new.
Well, it's not brand new in that it's been there forever, but it was updated upgraded to a national park in 2019. Before that, I believe it was a national monument. And from what I have read, it is a training facility, like they launch missiles there.
I hope they don't launch missiles from there. However, Scott, for some reason, you're next.
That's fine. I didn't notice it till just now when Ange starts talking. Right, partway through that, Ben just totally zones out. He's like, he looks outdone with her, and I didn't catch it before, but for some reason, just now I went, "Wow!" I wonder if she watches that video, she's going to punch him in the throat. Like, oh my gosh! But that's not my comment. That was unrelated. My comment was the very first thing. She said, "Pardon all the wind. We're in the desert." Cut, go to the intro. Already within like 2 seconds, she's drawn us in. She said, here's what we're in the desert. There's wind, and there must be some reason we're telling our story from here. So within 2 seconds, they've drawn us in. They then proceed to tell us the story of how they were together, then they weren't. They've got kids, now they're back together, and now they're having adventures. Really, really cool story. Unfortunately, it took 29 seconds to tell us that. So they drew me in less than 4 seconds, but then it took I had to wait 29 more seconds to continue the story. So I really want to give you kudos for that opening hook. That was very cool. Something I would work on was I think you definitely need to tell that story because it really draws us in. It's a very cool story. Is it possible to tell that story in less time so that we don't have to wait 29 seconds before we continue the story? But I mean, what a cool start. Very cool start.
So I like to just promote the guy above me real quick. If y'all have not checked out McGuire Mondays on Monday nights, it's a lot of fun. And if you are waiting to see someone get decked, I encourage you to come check it out because one of these days, Carrie is going to deck Scott for getting snapped at about touching the mouse. I'm just waiting for it. I tune in every Monday so I can see when is Carrie going to take a swing at Scott. So I felt the need to say that after Scott's comment about the video we just took a look at.
And what time is it, David?
7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern on Monday nights.
All right.
Listen, I can recognize when a dude's about to get punched in the throat. That's all I'm saying. I recognize it.
But yet you keep doing it.
Yeah. Okay. So.
Okay, so. All right. So on this video was a lot of fun. I liked their intro. I liked their adventure, I liked their story of them. Like, I love the fact that they said we're better together. That right there, just like, hey, I need to come back and check out more of this because I like hearing that kind of stuff. The sound got me. That's the only thing I think I would have worked on. I think they had the mic maybe turned up too loud when it was windy and it went to the intro. And every time I have like that hard change in the sound, it bugs me. Even if it's different levels, if you do something to kind of smooth it out, it's easier on me. It's like, I don't know, it's almost like that sound change just like jars me and it kind of puts me off. But don't they still launch missiles there? I could have sworn they still launch missiles there. Isn't the White Sands, isn't that a testing facility? Like, don't they actually shut down the national park on certain days because there are missile launches going on? Yeah?
Yeah.
You unmuted yourself, Steve, just so you could rattle your head?
Yeah. Yeah. You can hear this. Yes, I'm pretty sure they do fire missiles there.
Yeah.
And I think at some point he actually said that.
Yeah,
that they were opening it later because they were firing missiles.
Yep. Yeah, I've seen some other videos of people going out there, and I've looked myself, and I think there's a schedule for like, oh yeah, well, you can't go in right now because they're launching missiles. Well, that's exciting. Hey, Marshall, what do you think?
So, this was Build an Adventure. So I really like the montage they did at the beginning in their intro. It was cool to see the old photos of them together, and it helped establish or kind of let us know as an audience that they have history together, and it helped, it just kind of echoed what she was saying in the voiceover. The difference or the voiceover quality, I'm with you, Dave, on that. The microphone was not as clear as I had hoped it could have been. But overall, once I was able to turn up the volume, I was able to hear everything that they were saying. I liked where they're going with their mission and their adventures. Of course, I'm a big fan of the national parks. That's part of one of my goals. So it was really cool. I was really excited to see that. I was hoping to see more of the White Sands in that beginning sequence, at least a little short clip of it, but that wasn't there. Other than that, though, I think if they could add some more tags. I was looking at TubeBuddy and I noticed they only had 4 tags on the video. So if they could just add some more tags, I think that could really help this video.
All right. I thought the hook was a little weak. In the desert, the wind always blows. But I think the tag was said at the end of this clip. And she said, from what I have read, it is like a training facility, like they launch missiles from here. I think that would have been a more interesting tag because in the title, you know that it's White Sands National Park. But the fact that you think they might be launching missiles, I think is a pretty good hook. But again, like Scott said, so you grab me, and then for 29 seconds or so, you have an intro, which I thought, like Marshall said, I thought the intro pictures themselves and the story was a good story, but I think it needs to be fast. It has to move along pretty quick. Otherwise, people are going to drop off. But all in all, I thought it was pretty good. I thought the story after the clip was a little long, and I say that as far as these clips themselves seem to be fairly long. And in some cases, I saw a lot of camera movement that you could cut out, like when you drop the camera down after you sweep, do a panoramic or something like that. Clean all that up and squeeze it as tight as you can, make it as short as you can, and still tell the story. So, all in all, I thought it was a great story, except there's I think in one case, somebody sneezed, and that was in the video. And, it's sort of comedic, but it really didn't have a part in the story. Those types of things, I think I'd cut them out, squeeze that video down a little bit, And otherwise, just keep working at what you're doing, and I think it'll be great. Any follow-up? We're going to do a round table or roundhouse right after I show this video.
Hey, friends.
Hi, pardon all the wind. We are in the desert.
Hi, we're Ben and Ange. We grew up together and quickly became best friends. Sadly, some of life's painful moments caused us to go our separate paths for a while. But then 2020 happened. We realized we were better together and got married again to each other. With our 2 kids, we are off on adventures, we're creating, we're exploring, and we're building our adventure. Follow along.
We're in New Mexico at White Sands KOA.
Alamo Gordo.
We're gonna go to White Sands National Park, which, if you haven't heard of it, it's because it's brand new.
Well, it's not brand new in that it's been there forever, but it was updated upgraded to a national park in 2019. Before that, I believe it was a national monument. And from what I have read, it is a training facility, like they launch missiles there.
Right, Steve. That last little bit would have been a cool beginning.
I don't know. You know, you look at it and after thought and you go, yeah, that would have been a good one. But, you know, you don't know. But you can tell from what I understand from analytics is if you go into your analytics in one of the screens, and I can't remember which one it was, you drop down and it'll show you your video in the first 30 seconds. And if people click on that video, it means your thumbnail's good. And if they watch for 30 seconds and that curve doesn't drop below 50%, you're doing a good job. You've hooked the audience with that hook. But if it drops down to 28%, then you're not hooking anybody. They're like, oh, it's a great thumbnail, but nah, I'm not really interested. And you can sort of gauge that, or at least I assume you can. I'm still trying to learn this stuff. I'm not where David and Scott are and Marshall. So, but I'm trying to use analytics more and try to understand how I can use it to make my videos better. So, I don't know. It's all the information is there.
Steve, can you get to Nick's Picks comment from 8 p.m.?
Oh.
She had a great point when they were talking about White Sands. Instead of us just watching them for the first however many seconds, that would have been perfect just to show, here are the things we're talking about as they're talking about it. That's a great point, Nikki. That would be awesome.
And what do they call that when you're talking and you're showing video that's pertinent to
your? All of us call that B-roll. My wife calls it footage.
Well, she is from the South.
That's an ongoing joke in our house. I'll say, honey, can you go grab some B-roll? She says, you mean footage?
Oh, yeah, that's true. You know, but yeah, you know, just because you're talking, that's what I mean. You get all the B-roll you can. And when you go back and you're editing and you're talking about that stuff, you can start popping those things up. And I think it just makes the story move along even faster.
When I first started on YouTube, really, which was only like 6 days ago, I'm brand new. But when I first started, I tried to make everything so perfect to where what was it we were talking about a couple weeks ago? The you break the wall or the
plane.
Thank you. I tried to make everything just perfect, and then when there came a point where I realized it wasn't going to be perfect, so I started putting bloopers at the end. And then I was looking at analytics, like Steve said, and I realized people are cutting off the video before they watch the bloopers. And I'm like, these are awesome. So I started putting them in the video. So when I do something dumb, it's right there for everybody to see. And it's more relatable because we all have those moments. I just happen to have more than a lot of other people. But like watching Ange just now, Ben said, we're in New Mexico. She grabs her phone, because isn't that the first thing we do? She grabs her phone and she goes, actually, we're at Alamo, da, 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 da. And to me, there was a cut there that took us to the phone. To me, that was relatable. It made me go, oh, that's cool. Yeah, she's checking just like I do.
Yes, sir.
I thought one thing. Oh,
David's awful quiet.
I'm just waiting for Marshall to talk.
Oh, okay. All right, Marshall.
I was after listening to everyone and their thoughts and things, I was thinking another thing that would have been neat right there when she's looking at the phone. They could have taken a screenshot of that and inserted that to the video to where, you know, we see her look at the phone and then it cuts to the screenshot, so we actually see. Kind of gives us like we're in the phone with her kind of feel. Also, I was just wanted to suggest to them to look into TubeBuddy or vidIQ or one of them. Which one did you use, Scott?
I prefer Morning Fame, but I use Morning Fame and TubeBuddy.
Okay. I was just going to suggest to them to look into one of those tools to help them, because I noticed they only had, like I mentioned, the 4 tags, no rank tags, and they're just no end screens, no info cards, just some little things they could do to their videos to help. No pinned comment, things like that. If you leave your own comment with a link to a playlist, that can help keep people onto your channel or onto YouTube. So that could definitely help your views out and your channel out.
And, you know, as Marshall's talking about those things, these are not tricks that are like, well, how do we trick YouTube? YouTube wants to help you be successful in that, because YouTube's #1 goal is to keep a viewer watching YouTube. It doesn't matter to them what they watch. Keep them watching YouTube, because that's more advertisement. That's more money coming in. And so YouTube actually puts out blog posts, articles, and videos to help you with that stuff. So you just go to YouTube and search it, and you can find it. I think like in Creator Studio, there's stuff you can find. But also just go to the YouTubes and type in search like, how do I promote my own videos within YouTube? Or what tools within YouTube help keep people on the platform, or just something. It's all out there. They don't make it a secret.
And you're exactly right, Scott. They have the tool. They give you the tools because they do want you to stay on the platform. If you've not gone through the Creator Academy, which that's another free thing that YouTube offers, you can go through courses that help you step by step to go improve your channel. I do want to give a hats off though to Build an Adventure. I don't remember their names, but I'm glad to see that you all are taking the steps to actually film and record and publish. That's a step in itself. You're over 200 followers, so that's awesome. Just keep going.
I was looking at their thumbnails. Their thumbnails, it feels like they're aiming towards a certain style, but they're still a little bit all over the place. Like we've got a couple where they've got orange dots. We've got several with green dots. They're trying some styles here, but it's kind of like they're still looking for their identity when it comes to thumbnails. I can relate to that. I went for a long time where I couldn't settle on a logo. And even the logo that we've got, I'm sure somebody's still looking at that and going, why did he settle on that? I don't know. I'm always going to have doubts. And as far as going back to what y'all were saying about the look on his face when she started talking, honestly, I had just posted, Scott, I know you saw my post on that Facebook group asking for advice on how to vlog. Like I can make videos all day long about talking about this camping gear, this RV, or this state park, but to just sit down and actually talk about the adventure, I still haven't mastered. And so I kind of saw that in his face. I was like, it's honestly how I feel like, okay, what do I do now? And I think that's just, it's going to come with practice, honestly.
Yeah. New Horizon says she's went back and changed titles and tags to try to increase views on certain videos.
I've done that too.
Yeah, that is a technique. Just because it's published doesn't necessarily mean that you can't go back and change that stuff that you can change.
James Cantonese wants to know if I'm sleeping. See, I'm not fancy like these guys. This is where I've got my comments. So I promise y'all I'm paying attention. I'm just scrolling through the comments. These guys have fancy setups where they just go tick 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 and it shows up on their screen. I don't have that.
We don't have fancy screens go tick tick tick.
Speaking of James Cantonese, I'd really love to know what he's talking about when he references my boot.
Your what?
He says, Dave, I need your boot. Got deep. LOL.
Oh.
What are you talking about, James?
And just for clarification, my setup goes beep, boop, beep.
So you've got R2D2 there.
Yeah, Dora and Ed said they've updated their thumbnail style, and it seems to help. I did recognize that they made a few changes in their thumbnails. You know, thumbnails, that opportunity where you get that first view, or, you know, you hook them, and if the thumbnail doesn't get them, then they'll pass you by.
Speaking of Dora and Ed, I've got you in my phone as an appointment tomorrow. I just want to make sure you remember. I remember. I'm excited about it. So sorry, everybody. I'm done.
Yep. I'm sorry you guys had an appointment. I hope I didn't mess it up.
Tomorrow.
Leave it up to the band director to have appointments during this non-school year.
Yeah, really.
And Nick's Pick said she had a question about one of my videos, but she doesn't remember what it was. I'll go ahead and ask for you. It was probably why. Why, Scott? Why? I don't know, Nikki. It's just the best I could do.
You know, did we just roll right into the round table, or did I play that clip for the second time?
We've watched
played it the second time.
Senior moment.
Have you done a live stream before, Steve? Is this new?
You know, I would think that for as many as I've done, I'd be better, but I guess not.
You would think that.
That was the senior moment?
Yeah, really. Yeah.
Have you seen your moment?
Oh, I've seen it. I've seen it many times. Actually, I'm going to do a video on it. I think it's a good topic, especially for us old guys. I'm probably the oldest guy here.
No, Marshall's clearly older than you.
No, he's young. He's young like Scott.
Yeah. Dave was referencing, he reached out to a group today or yesterday, I think it was today, and said, hey, I've been doing reviews. I've been sharing information about destinations. I've gotten good at that. And he has. If you want to know anything about cooling a tent in the summer, Dave's your guy. You're going to see it. It's performing very well for him, but he's trying to get into vlogging. And so Dave asked in that group, what are some tips? How do I do this well? So guys, if you have any tips for us on how to get into vlogging and do better, it was received in that group, unfortunately, as a beginner who was just starting out. So you didn't get the feedback you were looking for. But guys, if you'll type in the chat, if you've got any tips for Dave, who's not a beginner, but is looking to get into that style in addition to what he's doing, type it in the chat. But I'll give you some advice I was just given. Write out your top 10 or 12 channels in your niche that are popular and current. I wrote out like 20 or 25, and then I started going to those channels. And if they didn't have a recent video, like within the last week, I just crossed them off the list. There's nothing to learn from them at this time. I'll come back to them later. Then I got it down to like a dozen, and I went back in and looked at all their videos, and I sorted by most popular, and I started writing down their top 5 or 10 videos from each channel. And now what I'm starting to do is watch those top 10 videos from those top channels, and I'm making notes. I'm studying them. A lot of us watch YouTube as consumers. If you watch YouTube as a student, it changes the way you watch it. And just from watching the first couple of videos, I'm seeing things. I've done 3. I'm seeing things they have in common, and I'm taking specific notes, and it's already shaping the way I'm filming and the way I'm editing. And, you know, we all have our own styles, but if you approach what I just said as a why, rather than, well, I'm going to do it the same way that this channel does, or this channel, or I'm going to be a copycat of that channel. If you go at it and say, well, they do it this way over and over and over again, why do they do it that? And then you go to the next channel and you say, oh, well, they do some of these same things. Why are they doing it that way? What's the purpose? You'll start figuring out what to film, how to film, when to film, how to edit, and it'll come. But I keep telling you guys, I'm the new guy, and that's how I'm learning is studying, coming at YouTube as a student.
And what you said is important, because it's okay to do a video about something someone else did. Just do it better. And if you watch their video, learn from it, and try to, put your own spin on it. And I think that is a very good approach to videos.
Do you see Nick's Picks comment from just a couple moments ago? That's a great tip. And that's hard.
My biggest tip is when you're looking into the camera, not the screen. Act as if you're talking to one person and make it personal. And that's true. It's like you're talking to a friend or a relative, but a person. And the hardest thing for me is when I first started, I wanted to watch myself. Just like right now, I'm not looking at the camera. I'm looking at the screen with all these knuckleheads up here. And it's different because when I look at the screen, I'm looking at the people I'm talking to, and it makes it much more personal, I think. And I think that's true with blogging. And now I'm on hush.
Well, another tip that I was given that I haven't done yet is find people near you who are like-minded and want to grow, and use them as a resource. Bounce ideas off of each other about analytics, about titles and tags and thumbnails and video creation. But I took 2 recent videos and I shared it with some folks. And what I learned from sharing those videos and asking for honest feedback, all of the people I shared it with said, your wife and your daughters are awesome. You got to reshoot your stuff. It's awful. And they were exactly, I went back and looked at it. And I'm like, I wouldn't watch past that. It was terrible. And so I did. I went out this weekend and I reshot those couple of things. And it's so much better. You just got to have somebody who you trust to give you feedback on stuff and bounce stuff off of.
And it's a learning process. I mean, you learn every time that you do something. If you're not satisfied with it, you go back, you try a different technique, you try something else. And like Scott said, you're a student, so go out there and watch everybody's videos and figure out what they're doing and what sells, and try to mimic that or learn from that.
Marshall, Facebook. You got any input on how to vlog?
Well, nothing new that hasn't been said. I think it's all great advice already. I'm still learning myself. I'm a newbie to this whole YouTube thing. So I'm trying to get better myself, and I'm kind of in the same boat, trying to improve it.
Marshall, you're awesome. You got your own song. None of us up here have our own song. If you haven't been over to Marshall's channel, you should go over there and check him out. He's I'm telling you, he's got his own song. Not a lot of YouTube creators got their own song. I think that's awesome.
And you can have your own song too. Just contact Fat Matt Adventures.
Yeah, Fat Matt. Yeah, that is true. I'm going to do that. I'm going to have my own song. I want a song.
Let me know if you need help with the lyrics.
Steve and Jill Turtle went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Facebook group.
Steve fell down. Oh, sorry. Steve fell down and Jill went ha-ha.
Yeah, he fell into a work camping job. Facebook group. I did join. I don't know if I was approved. I tried to answer the questions the best I could. But what's the name of that Facebook group? Creators?
RV Content Creators.
Okay, RV Content Creators.
Steve, you're on the block list. You can keep
I know. To be honest, I really do think I'm on the blacklist with YouTube.
Dave has a lot more information than I do about the RV Content Creators group, but it was Josh that's been with us before. It's his group that he's put together. He does an incredible job moderating that group and putting out questions. He says he's putting out questions because he's trying to learn. But when he puts out those questions, it's clear he knows the answer before he puts it out. He knows what he's doing. But Dave can give you a whole lot more information.
There's a lot of big names in there. I don't know if you saw it yesterday, but Driving and Vibing reached out asking for input. And I gave him some input, and I saw some other of our friends from our community as well. So hopefully they'll get some plugs with Driving and Vibing's blog page.
Well, I'll leave some links down in the description of this video for the Facebook group and some of the other, we were talking about music earlier on. I'll leave some links for that down there. And I guess we got about 2 more minutes. Has anybody got anything else? Happy Place Camping says, I am her YouTube spamming brother. Oh my goodness.
Just keep going, everybody.
Yeah.
Keep going.
It was great to have you guys here, and it was great to have everybody in the chat here. I appreciate you guys stopping by, and I appreciate your input and your questions. And keep it going. If you meet other people in YouTube or across your channel, tell them about VidLift and tell them that they can send us a clip and we'll check it out. And we'll keep it going. And your questions help us keep going as well. And then I guess I'm going to do this outro and I'm going to hit end broadcast.
Marshall, thanks for joining us.
Yes, thanks for having me. Appreciate it. David and Scott, we appreciate you guys too.